Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Chrissy T. I'm back with a review on Love and Marriage Huntsville. We're on season 6, episode 17. I'm just going to jump right into it. Mel is asking Kiki about the Crime Stopper shenanigans, and she made it a point to throw Tiffany under the bus. She said Tiffany brought it to, everyone's attention that Kiki's alleged theft could tarnish that brand, but we still don't know what Tiffany's brand is. I asked Google, they don't even know. Kiki is acting all coy about it, not even confirming or denying, even though it's her in the incriminating video. But Kiki says she's not worried. She's lawyered up. And when she is vindicated, she expects an apology from everybody. It seems like there's a lot of tension and history between Kiki, Mel, and Tish. So Kiki expresses gratitude towards Mel for reaching out to her because her low-life cousin reached out to her last. Mel should not be closer to Kiki than Tish does. Tish and Kiki, they've been having problems in their relationship since they were babies. And this has went on far too long. They need to work this out. But I do know they have done a lot of dirty things to each other. And sometimes, despite being family, it can be necessary to maintain some distance from people, especially if they treat you bad. They have been so grimy to each other. And I know it can be difficult to repair a relationship, but it can be done. So I'm really rooting for them, and I hope they get counseling and move forward because this has been going on too long. So they talk about Mel, Tiff baby reveal party, and Mel's trying to put her up on game. Honey, get your lies ready because you know they're coming for you, and they're going to ask you about this tape, so you make sure you get your lies ready. Marsau is pretending to work on the house, and Tish walks in and she asks him, what's the furniture budget? And he said, well, can they just use Klarna or Afterpay? She looks at him like he lost his damn mind because he just spent $3,500 on getting his car wrapped. But he said, wait a minute now, because your purse costs more than my car wrap. It's no secret that Tish, she likes nice things, but you can have nice things on a budget. Where's the old furniture? So they're going back and forth, and she's questioning where his allowance money is really going. And somehow he done convinced her that she was wrong and made her apologize. So Tiff asks Stormy to help her plan Baby Ace reveal. And Stormy asks who's coming. So pretty much everyone is coming. And she said Tish didn't RSVP. And then Stormy ended up saying that her husband acted like a bitch. Girl, he does, and that's true. And she also said he thinks he's the smartest person in the room, and that is so true. And Stormy is shocked that Tiffany is inviting Kiki, and she said it's okay if she come as long as she don't steal a lock or the centerpieces. Now that's messed up. And kicking her while she down. I wonder how Kiki's going to feel about that at the reunion. Then Tiffany is talking about how work is overwhelming, motherhood, and then being a wife. And she said Lou hasn't been around. He's always on the road. And she's on the verge of having a breakdown. And she haven't communicated this to her husband. If you're not in a safe place to communicate with your husband that you're going through postpartum depression, then Houston, we have a problem. Every time she's going through something, she tell everybody else other than her husband. And then when she do tell her husband, he's always the last one to know. So Tish and Marsau meet Chris and Nell Fletcher for lunch. And they sat down, so she's trying to break the ice and ask how was the expo. But what she really wanted to know is why they wasn't invited. So Marsau said that he didn't know what they did. He thought that Chris was just a man with money and Nell was his pretty wife. So Chris is in real estate and his wife has a daycare. So Chris said they're the original power couple. And Marsau better put some respect on their name. So Marsau is coming up with every excuse in the book as to why he didn't invite them until he finally told the truth. He said he didn't invite them because they were friends of other friends in which they're not in a good place with. he's referring to Mel because he's still in a good place with Martell. It's Mel he's not in a good place with. So I know he was definitely talking about Mel. So Nell, asked who were the speakers at the expo. And he named everyone that was there. And he also mentioned that Martell was there and Melody, but they didn't speak. So Nell asked him, did he pay anybody? And he was like, no, I didn't pay anybody. If I was going to pay someone, it would have been Maurice and Stormy because they are professional and they've been in business for a long time. And not only that, he said he's not paying anyone whose business is selling T-shirts. Now, that was shade from Mel for sure. So Chris had to check him and said, listen, you're not going to shade their business because quiet as is kept. The Holtz Enterprise was a business that you were partnered with. So Marsau says, so where's the business now? Marsau have a lot of nerve when he and his wife sell sweatshirts on their website, but got the nerve to talk about their business. Nobody. And then Tish out of nowhere asking the Fletchers, have they experienced cheating in their marriage? This just came out of nowhere. Like, what was this about? But Marsau made sure to shut that down real quick. So Tiffany arrives to baby Ace, big reveal. And when she walked in, things were behind. And they said they were behind due to the storm. And they had to be strategic about bringing the items inside. Stormy walks in and she's just as surprised as Tiff as to, why things aren't set up. So she decided to, help Tiffany get set up. And she only helped her so she can have something to say. Oh, I walked in, nothing was done. I helped her. Mel and everyone else just sat down. I don't know. I just have to question her motives, and I don't really trust her. So Mel walks in, and she greets everyone when she walks in. Stormy pretended to not hear her and be preoccupied with something else, looking at her purse. When you see someone and you don't want to talk to them, you pretend you don't see them, or you pretend to be doing something else, just like Stormy did. She's very childish. Why you didn't speak to Mel, regardless of the reason, this is something that y'all need to address. You want to be so tough? Address the issue with her instead of pretending you don't hear her or acknowledge her until she asks you a question. Effective communication can help mend bad relationships, girl. Just talk to Mel. So Nell informs Melody about the lunch they had with the Scotts, during which Marsau discussed the reason why he didn't invite them to the Black Expo. And apparently, he made these comments about her business not being profitable, downgrading her accomplishments when she put money in your pockets. Now check that. Melody then spills some tea. She said that Marsau is involved in a massive $5 million lawsuit for fraud. So he has no room to talk about anyone's business. And not only that, his woman is also selling T-shirts and mugs. A $5 million lawsuit? Wow. It seems like there's more to this couple than what meets the eye. I'm not trusting them. I'm looking at y'all side-eyed. I can't help but wonder what other secrets and scandals they have lurking around while you want to talk about Mel and her business. Let's hear your dirty laundry. And then for Tish, out of nowhere, asks the Fletchers if there's been any infidelity in their relationship. Makes it clear that there's a lot of things going on behind closed doors with Marsau and Tish. I can't wait for the next week's episode. That is the end of this review. Good night.